everyone. Gosh, it's been a while. Alandra from Spiritual Life Vibrations. Something came to mind and I was inspired to do this video. Now, before I start this video, I'd like to share with you that number one, I am not a nutritionist. Number two, I am not a weight loss specialist. What I do is simply share from my own conscious journey of transformation with you in the hope that it can reach and help someone else. In the video today, I'm going to speak to you about food, subconscious patterning, and emotional triggers. So I was awake at 4. I did an interview for a program that I was doing last year with Peter Sage. I was being interviewed by the facilitator, and it just made me feel really good considering how far I've come in my transformational journey. So I thought, to celebrate, I'll take a lovely walk and I'll go get myself a green juice because I love juices, and I've been experimenting with juices since January 2021 now, and I thought, what a lovely way to support myself and celebrate the interview and my conscious journey. And so I went for the green juice. It was lovely, and then I went to get some supplies at a local supermarket. And lo and behold, I walk in, and the first thing that faces me is a whole stand full of hot cross buns. South Africans, I think you can resonate. Now, I'm a sucker for hot cross buns, and subconsciously, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even try to resist it. I just picked up a pack and put it in the trolley. Looked for the best pack, put it in my trolley, went about my business, got home, put them on the counter, unpacked all the other goods. The simple fact that I put them on the counter means that subconsciously my mind has already preconceived that this is what I'm going to have for lunch. But I didn't think about it. Now, ordinarily, I'll talk to you about being in the moment, and yes, extremely healthy and good for one's soul to be in the moment. But we are here learning a series of lessons, and I personally cannot always be in the moment. I'm human. We are all just human. It's a journey. There are bends in the river. So I didn't think too much about it until it got to lunchtime. At lunchtime, I got there and I said to myself, why? Oh, first I got angry. Then I made a joke about it. It's like, damn, Checkers, why you do this to me? And then I realized, but it's got nothing to do with Checkers. It's all about me, myself, and I, and the patterning and triggers that I have, my relationship with food. And so I laughed about it, and I was like, okay, let's have one anyway. Put the kettle on. While I was waiting for the kettle to make myself a cup of tea to enjoy a hot cross bun for probably 2 for lunch, I started going on some mindful thinking. Okay, so I thought to myself, well, let's look at this. Why did I actually buy the hot cross buns? Now this, when you hear people talk about human behavior, subconscious patterning, childhood patterning, and so forth, it's actually really simple once you start practicing it. And that's why I'm using this practical example of myself within my own journey to share emotional triggers with food, my journey of emotional triggers with food. And within a few minutes of questioning myself on buying these, number one, I thought about the merchandising, the positioning, commercial gimmicks, Easter, Christmas, Valentine's, all of that. I didn't see one Valentine's Day out, anything to do with Valentine's Day. All my attention was drawn to was food, was the hot cross buns, because that's what within my experience. I suppose somebody else might have seen the Valentine's display that I just did not see, because it's not relevant to me in my now experience. And I'm quite conscious of the gimmicks, the merchandising, ordinarily. Nevertheless, I have been on a conscious journey with food, and no, I'm not a size zero. I accept my body the way that I am in myself right now, whilst continuously working on it. But that's another story that I'll share with you at a later date. Let's go back to the emotional triggering. Almost immediately it came to me that why did I buy them? Because I couldn't have them. Not because I couldn't have them, because there was a restriction on them when I was a child. So I grew up in a religious family, as I've mentioned before. And we could only have our first hot crust bun on a Good Friday. And we would have it with black coffee. Now, we would either have it after the 3-hour mass on Good Friday, or at 3 o'clock when we could break fast. And now, there's a bit of background to the story, because I didn't always live with my parents or my grandparents. I boarded with other people. I was in boarding school. I've had quite an upbringing. But under most circumstances, that was the generalized sort of religious dogma. I believe it still is, and please understand me, Christian people, I am not downing it. I thoroughly respect Easter, and I respect my roots. They have made me who I am today. I still live by those certain principles. So please don't misunderstand me. I'm talking about subconscious patterning and emotional triggers with food, my emotional journey. And when I became an adult, I could buy anything that I wanted to. And come what may, at Easter time, I would buy the first batch of hot cross buns that comes out because I'm attracted to it. But it's taken me 40 plus years to understand why I'm triggered to buy it subconsciously without even thinking about it. And that's how simple something can stick in the subconscious brain. Something as simple as that. And the more that you understand yourself better on a mindful journey, on an intentional journey, the quicker you're able to understand those triggers for something as simple as that. And this is what I've been doing since January 2021. Instead of putting this load of pressure on myself to diet, and do an exercise program, which I do, okay, I spend more time trying to find the trigger. What sparked this? Where does it come from? Because once I understand it, it's most likely I may not do it again. Nevertheless, like I said, I am not a medical practitioner, and I am only sharing this from my own conscious development in the hope that it can really help someone to understand themselves. So if you are on a journey like I am and have these emotional triggers with food, my suggestion, it's been working for me. Ask yourself, why did I buy that? Was I just hungry at the time before I went to the shop? Was I thirsty? Is food my way of celebrating? Am I just filling a void within that moment? What triggered me to buy that? And I really hope that it helps you, because it has been helping me. Trust me, 3 years ago, I was probably over 150 kilos. Most South African scales go up to 150 kilos. I stopped weighing myself. I didn't go on any specific diet. As I consciously developed, I just started automatically losing weight. And then in January 2021, I became more specific about it, because I realized that if I want to do, as much as I accept my body in my allness, I'm grateful to my vessel for the work that it does for me in this life experience. So if I want to change it and I want to be more healthy, then I've got to put the work in. And part of doing the work is identifying the emotional triggers as well as all the other stuff. I wish you a beautiful day, and I hope that this was of help to you. Namaha. Namaste.